Welcome to the Gamer and the Weeb podcast, the only podcast that keeps our hidden blade strapped with us at all times. What's going on? I'm your host Ryan, here with my co-host Fondiolio. You can find him at that handle on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. What's going on, dude? What are we here to talk about today? Leo?
Honestly, your reaction was I just didn't talk at all, and it was not funny. So, we're gonna talk about Assassin's Creed Valhalla today. But before we talk about Assassin's Creed, we're gonna talk about the new update of MK called Mortal Kombat Aftermath, which pretty much shows the events that happens after, spoiler alert, when Liu Kang becomes, I think it's an Eldritch God, or pretty much a god of creation, pretty much, and he's like the most powerful human being to ever grace MK universe, pretty much. And they're adding more DLC characters. I don't know who they have in the store, but so far they showed RoboCop, which I think is stupid as fuck. But hey, I'm not Ed Boon, so what can we do about that? You know?
Yeah, that's true. They gave us Spawn. I mean, I guess we could deal with RoboCop.
No, dude. The Terminator was not a good add to the MK universe either. Fuck
That's
that.
true. But we'll get to who we think they should have added later.
All right, so I know MK11 was pretty fun at first. Not gonna lie, like I was playing it nonstop. I don't know. It's something about me with fighting games where I'll play for a while when I first get it, and I just get tired of it, and then I just put it down and never touch it ever again. Like, yeah, I'll go back to it sometimes and play a little bit, but I don't know. It just I don't get the same feeling I have with it like after a while. Like as of right now, the game that I've been coming back to a lot is Siege, but that's for another video
I'm
because
never playing that game again.
yeah, Ryan's been sucking ass since these past few games.
I went 0-4, almost 3 games in a row.
I mean, it's not your fault that you're not born to play games while I'm pretty much a god at games. It just
Bro,
happens.
you didn't even take MVP in either of those games.
Yeah, but at least I got 7 kills. All right. Unlike you got no kills, so chill, dog. Well,
I was so ready to end it all, like the whole game. I was like, I'm done.
all right. So we're talking about fighting games in AC, not Siege. So shut the fuck up. But
Sorry, dude.
I know you haven't played the new MK11. Which ones have you played?
I played the new MK.
Oh yeah, I remember I wrecked your shit so bad. I remember now. Okay, but like
Yeah.
an MK game like you played recently before that, or like your favorite. How about, no, you know what? Name your favorite MK game. That's a good question.
Well, my favorite MK game, honestly, is a while ago they reissued the very first Mortal Kombat like ever, just for like you could buy it and it was like a little like thing that you hooked up to your TV and it was just like the joystick and buttons. And me and my brother and my dad just played that game, play MK1 for so long. It was so much fun. So I just have the most fond memories of MK1, honestly.
Oh, so you're gay?
Bro, I'm just a basic dude, all right?
All right. Well, my favorite MK game, because you're basing it off nostalgia, so I'm gonna be like, you know what? Nah, fuck nostalgia. I'm gonna just MK9 was probably one of my favorite all-time MK games that I played, which was the reboot slash, I guess, sequel, because it does start after Armageddon. And it's the first game that. I mean, it's the first game where fatalities are so crazy. Like, oh my god, this is brutal. No, but it's like probably the first one where it's like disgustingly brutal and like it's really, really gory. Which of course it's MK. And the story was good because it's pretty much like a remake. Like it's like Raiden was like losing against Shao Kahn. He's like, oh, like he must win. Like you have to tell the past about it. So like Armageddon doesn't happen. So you go all the way back to the events of the first MK game, and you fight your way pretty much all the way to like the Armageddon game. So it's pretty much like all the games put together in story mode wise. Another good one is Mortal Kombat Did the Alliance. That was probably the first MK I played with my dad, the PS2 version. It was either that one or MK9, but Daily Alliance is actually really really dope too. I remember like watching my dad doing like the ladder tournament, and I just watch him play like constantly because it was like he was really good at it, and I could never get past the second fucking fighter.
Dude, the towers on Mortal Kombat have probably made me some of the most rage induced I've ever been in games.
Yeah, they're pretty hard, especially if you choose like the hardest difficulty. That's really freaking hard. But I know the
Yeah.
most recent MK11. There's a thing they added called like this that Towers of Time, which pretty much is like a little event that happens. Like, hey, there's this tower with only Sub-Zero cosmetics, and you can only get it through here. And so you complete the tower to take those cosmetics, and every once in a while they would add one where you would need two other friends. So it'd be you and two other friends to defeat this OP ass dude with a bunch of health, and you guys take turns. I remember I did it with two of my other friends, dude. We were there for almost like an hour and a half, dude. We couldn't fucking beat it. And I was like, you know what? I'm not even trying. It's just fucking dumb. I don't want to try this. I never beat it, but it was stupid hard.
Do you remember when me and you played on the new MK and you were trying to get the Liu Kang God skin?
Oh,
And we
dude.
did this whole tower to get the Liu Kang God skin, and then it froze after you beat the last guy.
Yeah, and I didn't even get it. I was so pissed, dude. I was so mad to that. I was like, wow,
You
thanks,
were like,
thanks, MK. NetherRealm Studios, nice.
F this, I'm not playing anymore. I was like, bro, let's just get it. And you're like, no.
And then speaking of MK2, they also made a movie recently too, and I haven't watched it. I'll probably watch it tonight. It's an animation movie, and it's pretty much tells it's like pretty much Scorpion's movie. It tells you like the way his clan got killed, his revenge, the way why he entered the Mortal Kombat tournament. And the reason why I want to watch is because the guy who voices Scorpion is the guy who voices Endeavor. So I actually want
That's
to.
right, dude.
So I want to see.
And he
Like, get
sounds
over
just
here.
like Endeavor.
Yeah. But the thing is though, he did play Scorpion first though, before he played Endeavor. So you could say Endeavor sounds like Scorpion.
Don't ever say that again.
So Endeavor sounds like Jiren.
Don't ever say that. Endeavor sounds like Endeavor.
All right, so I think that's so much we can talk about MK. So fun at first, got boring as fuck. The best MK game is 9. All right, so let's talk about the guest character that you want to be in MK, since Ed Boon has been adding some dumb shit like. Yeah, Joker fits, but Joker's not someone we needed. Terminator isn't someone we needed either. Spawn, we've been asking since the beginning of MK time, so Spawn fits very well in the MK universe. And now they're adding RoboCop, and I'm like, no, you know what? They're trying to they're trying to jerk off the older fans. Like, look at these, old iconic characters from like past movies or comics or whatever. And I'm like, bro, give us something that fucking fits. Something that give us Reptile for God's sake. He's a fan favorite.
Really? He's been in every game since forever, and this is like the first Mortal Kombat game where he hasn't been in it.
Yeah, that's so stupid. He's an Easter eggs in the game, so I don't know why he's not freaking in it. So, like, stop acting up, Ed Boon. Add Reptile. But who's your guest character that you would want? So it could be either from a comic, it could be from either a movie, a TV show. I'm gonna see Arthur Morgan. No, I'm just kidding. Go what you want, Ryan. What's your special guest?
Okay, so for a second, I really was thinking about saying a certain character that I'm sure everyone who's listening is tired of hearing me talk about, so I'm not gonna say it.
Who is it?
I wanted to say Guts so bad because I love Guts and I think he's gory and crazy enough to be an MK. But I'm actually going with kind of like a theme that MK does. This is like one of the first games where the guest character really isn't a horror movie character. And so I was thinking that it would have been really cool if we got Pennywise as a guest character. And I think with his ability to shapeshift, it would be really cool to see him like change his arms or change his body into like different things. Like I imagine it kind of like as a mix of like the Collector and like Shao Kahn, or not Shao,
Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung, sorry, and how Shang Tsung can like transfer into different ninjas, whereas Pennywise could like transform into different like iconic like. I know in the original he transforms into a werewolf. He can transform into that painting. Like it'd been cool just to see him transform into different things, and like have his arm become like little crabs. I also think they could do something really cool with like the balloons, you know, like have it kind of like what's the cowboy's name? I forget his name.
Aaron Black.
Yeah, Aaron Black. You know how he throws his acid down?
Yeah.
Kind of like his balloon would be kind of like that, to where you have to keep your distance from him. You know, so if you're wrecking him in like a combo and he like throws his balloon out, then you have to get away from him because if you pop it, like stun you or something. You know,
hmm
and just think about the fatalities and the brutalities that you could get from Pennywise. You know, and just think about his ultimate like uh ultimate move. Like it would be so sick just to see a giant Pennywise like in part two just crush your opponent. It'd be so cool. And like one of the brutalities or fatalities could be like when he's like eats Georgie's arm off, but he does it with an MK character. I just think there's so many good things that they could have done with Pennywise, and I would have much rather seen him in MK because he kind of fits with like the creepy horror moviness and the violence, rather than RoboCop or Terminator.
Nice.
Nice,
Nice.
sick. Sick.
So I can't think of anyone, but honestly, like there is one person that comes to mind, and I think he would fit perfect because he's a hunter. He's like there's a movie about him where he turns into a werewolf, so that could work too as like a fatality. He has a bunch of gadgets with them, so he could has a crossbow. He has guns.
Are you gonna say Van Helsing?
Yes. I was thinking about, I was like, Van Helsing actually fit in an MK game, like all the gadgets that he has. He has like a crossbow, he has guns. He's very like he's trained, so he knows like CQ, whatever shit's called, from fucking knife battles and shit. He knows his
Did you mean did you mean Aaron Black reskin?
pretty much, but like a better version though, because Aaron Black is just a ripoff, like a fucking wannabe cowboy. But like I think Van Helsing will fit better though. Like he's more of a hunter instead of like a bounty hunter. This guy kills demons and vampires, werewolves, monsters in general. And I don't know. I think he'll fit good. And then they can incorporate like the whole werewolf transformation to watch the movie, and he could use that. And or even like the main villain of that movie, which is like the Dracula. I think Dracula would be like a good ass fucking character in MK too. But
Yeah, that's true, especially in that version of Dracula, because you could, he could in his ultimate he could transform into that giant bat
yeah, it's
monster,
the Dracula.
or
Yeah.
in his like brutality or fatality he could do it, but then fight as like a regular human or regular vampire.
Yeah,
So
because even
I
in his
I
human
agree.
form, he was still powerful. Like he could throw your ass across the fucking room. He could he's quick, he's fast. He could still he jumps really high. He has power, so it would fit very well. And then he could incorporate like his little three wives into the mix too, as like a power, or like a as an outro. Like an outro, he wins. He just turns around, he just sits down. He's like the three, his three wives just come down and like just be next to him. So stuff
Or they
like
could do
that.
like something with his fatality, or like yeah, his fatality, where he like goes up to you and like punches you, like punches you back, and like each of his wives grabs like one of your limb, and you only have one leg left, and they rip them all off, and then you become like a giant bat monster and just rip his head off.
Yeah, see that'd be a pretty sick fucking fatality for either Dracula or Van Helsing. So I think those fuck. See, I'm slugging between either Van Helsing or the main villain of that movie, which is Dracula. Whichever one, throw it in there. I don't give a fuck, dude. Honestly, I don't care anymore. Screw that game.
I mean, when they added RoboCop instead of like a horror movie character, I was like, oh my god, Ed Boon, what are you doing?
I know, whatever. But let's talk about the main topic of why we're recording this podcast today. So let's talk about Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Thank God for this game. Did I tell you? I don't know if I told you a while back. I thought I saw a trailer drop for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I was like, but it was like it said Assassin's Creed Valkyrie, and I was like watching it, and I was like, yo, this is Assassin's Creed Rogue, and someone just made their
Little trailer.
assassin, yeah, he's actually a Templar, but whatever, look like a Viking, and I was like, oh man. And then like a month later, this trailer drops, and I'm so excited. What I really like what they did with the trailer though is they made it to where it didn't seem like an Assassin's Creed trailer until the very end.
See, because the thing is, and I've been telling everyone this, I would have liked it if they didn't just slap on Assassin's Creed in it. I thought it would have made a really good game just on its own, like its own thing, just called Valhalla. Just imagine the game just called Valhalla. That would have been sick as shit instead of adding Assassin's Creed Valhalla. You know, like no, just make it its own thing. I mean, like you're when you think of Assassin's Creed, what's the first thing that pops into your head?
Ezio.
But that's you, right? Guy with the
Yeah.
hood, a hitting blade. He's an assassin. He's sneaky. Odyssey, I haven't played it yet, but it's Spartans. You know, like it's a full on fucking fight. There's no sneaky to it. Same with Valhalla. It's just all out like an all out war. There's not much. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're gonna add some kind of sneaky, silence type missions, but overall of a Viking, you're not really a sneaky type warrior. You're just a fucking straight up beast warrior. You go in head first without thinking. You just fight. So I think
Yeah.
this game would have made a lot more sense if we would just call it Valhalla and just take away the Assassin's Creed. But we all know why they added Assassin's Creed to that title. Why? For money, just to slap on for sales. That's the only reason why they did that. But I mean,
That's true.
I'm pretty sure they can incorporate some sort of like the Apple of Eden in there somewhere, and like the
Well,
whole
you
Abstergo fucking shit that's gonna be I'm pretty sure gonna be in there somewhere. But who knows?
yeah. Well, even in the trailer, you saw like a reference to the gods. Like he talks about Odin, and we all know that there's the I forget what they're called, the people of Eden, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the people of Eden. I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. I could be wrong, but they were already like established in the Assassin's Creed, so I'm pretty sure like Odin and all of them will be like the people of Eden too. I'm sure they won't be like oh that's actually Odin. It'll be like the person of Eden, but just like seen from the normal people, the regular Earthlings now. You know.
Yeah. But like
But what's really
so it's it.
what's
Go.
uh what's Odin's bird? The
I don't
crow or
I
the
don't
raven?
know. Yeah, like the Raven, but I'll just
I
say that
know
I
they
did
dropped
like
that in the
that.
trailer. Well, you don't like that?
No, I do like that. Like when they were fighting and he turns around and like he sees like a hooded man, just chill with the beard, and he just turns to like a raven. He's like, Odin's with us. I'm like, oh, dude, it'd be so sick if they add North mythology in this shit, dude. I'm looking forward to that. But like,
Of course they're.
but I'm
Of
like,
course they are.
we'll see if it's better than God of War, man. We'll see. Because right now, God of War is my all-time favorite single-player campaign game. So
Mm.
this has potential of taking like overtaking that spot, but we'll see though. We'll see in holiday 2020.
What I'm hoping is honestly, I wasn't really a fan of the new combat style that was in Odyssey and Origins. So part of me wants them to like kind of have a mixture of the old fighting style and the new fighting style. Have like a good balance that way it like brings the nostalgia of playing as Ezio, but it also has like some new mechanics in it, you know?
I guess so, but I mean, like I did find like the ultimate fighting mechanic kind of boring because you pretty much just have to parry and wait for them to attack, and then as soon as they attack, then you click a button to parry, and you automatically kill them, and that's it. That was the
Yeah.
whole fighting of the game. So that was cool at first because they did the time it right, but it was kind of boring. And when I was playing Origins, like they had to be like, nah, like yeah, like you have to do some damage before you can execute him. Like you have to actually hit him multiple times before you actually do like a full on execution, which I like better because it makes you like think more of how to strategize. Especially if it's like a heavy brute dude, like you have to time your attacks perfectly. You gotta dodge at the right moment. You gotta parry at the right moment. So there's more stuff to the newer fighting mechanic that I like a lot more better, and it's more challenging, which I like. I like challenging games. I don't like games that pretty much hand shit to you, like, hey, this OP button right here, you press that as soon as they hit, and you kill them like automatically.
I'm a lazy gamer, dude. I'm like, let me press the one button.
You're just a bitch character. You're just a bitch person to play as like a fucking game, dude. That's what you've been dying all fucking day in Siege, man. You suck.
Dude, fuck Siege. I'm never playing Siege again.
All right, but so what do you? So let's say what we want in this game. Like, what do you want them to add?
So what I'm really worried about is Assassin's Creed has built up a game that's like all these like places to parkour are really like if you think like the best places that in the best games of Assassin's Creed, what is it?
Well, 1 and 2, Italian, Italy, and what was the first one from? It's like Greek, right? Looks
Like
like
Israel or something?
somewhere like around there, yeah.
And think of all the giant buildings you have to climb, all the great like historical references that he makes. But when I think of Vikings, is there's not a lot of parkour options. I'm saying it's going to be a lot like Assassin's Creed 3. I imagine like parkouring through like the woods and maybe some like castles, you know.
Uh huh.
But I don't see like a lot of like I see the parkour options being the woods, castles, and ships, and that's something that I'm kind of worried about. That we're not going to get that fun chase or that fun parkour feeling when we play this game. So I'm really hoping they find a way to balance that. Another thing I hope that they don't do, and I is this, I really don't want this. I really didn't like the ship battles in Assassin's Creed 4.
You're such a pussy.
Dude, I thought they were so boring because look, Edward Kenway's an assassin. Just let me jump off my boat, okay, get semi close to this boat. I can jump off the boat onto their boat, and I'll kill the entire crew.
Well, you could do that.
No, you can't. Like in some battles, they force you
Well,
to.
yeah, that damage it first, but then after you damage it, then you could go on board and just wreck shit, dude.
But I don't even need to damage it. Let me just hop off and slaughter everybody.
Oh my god, dude. You want just shit handed to you, bro. You hate steps in games that I've figured.
No, what do you mean? I'm just saying it makes sense for an assassin to be able to jump off of, especially a parkouring assassin, to jump off the boat and slaughter everybody, all the pirates, all the soldiers. Like it doesn't matter. Like we saw it in the trailer. We don't need him to pirate the ship. We just need him to jump off and slaughter.
Alright,
So that's
whatever,
what I'm kind
but
of worried about. But I don't think there probably won't be any cannons in the game, so I'm not too worried about that.
yeah,
And
it seems
I
it's
also
more like strength wise and throwing shit. Like I remember when he threw that fucking tomahawk or little like axe that he had. He was like, he just fucking got someone in the head. That was fucking sick.
I'm also hoping for epic battles like that, like how they showed it in the trailer, like a big epic fight like that. I'm hoping we get something like that in the game.
True, but you know what AC is though. Like they don't promise shit, dude. like remember like Assassin's Creed 3, the trailer of that. Remember how it was fucking Connor and he was like going through the whole fucking like redcoats, just like wrecking them all. And
Yeah,
as soon as the game comes out, we don't even get to relive that battle. You just sneak around the fucking battlefield and then just assassinate the main guy. I'm like, really? That was it? I was like, that's really disappointing. I did not like that at all. But
yeah. And then another thing I'm hoping for is just like a better story outside of the Animus, because recently they haven't really been. I would say after Assassin's Creed 3, the story kind of fell off on the outside of the Animus. You know what I mean? Like I don't think anything was really like happening with that. Like I'm waiting for them just to take out that whole feature of the Animus.
well, yeah, cause Desmond's story ended in 3, so like makes sense. They just stopped doing the animus, but they keep doing it. But no, so what I want in this game, so I wish they will. I hope that the Templars aren't a huge villain in this game because I feel like they already lost the time already. Like, hey, Templars, we get it. Who gives a fuck about them anymore? Like, just take them out. Just make our own game. Uh, I did hear that there be customization. So like I guess you create a character, you could choose a girl or a guy. There's like out like it's kind of like an RPG game where you find shit on the game. But I hope that they're rewarding though, like rewarding pieces that you get. Like you're like, oh, dude, this fucking weapon is good. Oh, I've been looking for this, whatever. Um, but I do agree with you that I hope that they take away or they don't go to that unanimous side of the game. Like just leave it alone. Just don't ever input it. Just make it its own fucking game. Don't add Templars. I didn't like how they added one in fucking AC3. I mean, it made no sense of a Templar being in like that Revolution time. You know, like it would have made sense if they just ended it at 2, which is with Ezio's time. But I think it would have been cool just to end it there. It makes sense. The timeline fits, but whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
but what would they do for a villain then? Like, what kind of villain would they have?
I don't know, dude. They're game creators. They could think of something. You know,
That's true.
shit.
Because I was thinking like maybe like it would be cool if one of the people of Eden was alive, and maybe that's what the Viking people see as Loki, and that's your bad guy.
True. Like I mean, like that main villain, King Talking. He does seem like a Loki type. Like he had that Loki look to him. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to say this. One thing I hope they add in this AC Valhalla, and it's so underrated. They had its own little like fan base, and I don't know why they stopped adding it in. Is the multiplayer? Have you ever played multiplayer at AC?
Dude, AC multiplayer, of course,
It was
dude.
so fun, dude. Like especially 2 and 3. Those two have was so fun with multiplayer, and then I was so
Just roaming
sad.
around.
Yeah, like and I was so sad that they took it out and they never added it back. I think AC4 was the last one to have it, and then after that they just started taking it out, which I have no idea why they did that. It was super fun, and people have been asking for it too to bring back. Like, hey, bring back multiplayer, and they never fucking listen. Fuck, man, assholes.
What and another thing is, like you said, with them being Vikings, it's really hard for me to picture them actually being assassins, because that was some like my favorite missions with playing with Ezio, is when you're like at a party and you have to assassinate someone there without everybody knowing, you know?
No, yeah, exactly, and like. I don't see a Viking doing that. Like how the fuck you gonna blend in a crowd with all this huge ass fucking axe behind your back and the fur coat and that finger painting on your fucking face? How you gonna blend into a party like that? You know.
Yeah.
But
And I'm excited for the customization though. In Odyssey, you get to choose male or female too, but it's really I'm waiting to see like what they do with that. You know,
yeah,
like can I grow like if I have a boy, can I grow like how long can my beard go? Is there going to be any references to any other Viking media like the show Vikings or God of War or something like that? Even though God of War is made by a different studio, but
I'm
I think it'd be cool
sure
just that.
that they're gonna add some sort of reference to something because they always do it with every game that they bring out. You know, like with us SSS Creed 4, you know, Blackbeard was one of your allies. You know, the most fearless and ruthless pirate to ever probably grace. You know, like the whole pirate world. Um, I know in AC3, you know, there's George Washington, Thomas Edison, all that stuff. Um,
In Ezio's, there is Leonardo da Vinci,
yeah, Da Vinci, yeah, there's Da Vinci and stuff. So, like, I'm pretty sure they could add some sort of Viking thing
in
to
the
it.
Syndicate, there's
Jack the
Jack the
Ripper,
Ripper.
yeah, Jack the Ripper, yeah.
Best part of that whole game.
And it's a DLC. But yeah, so you know what? So let's stop talking about Valhalla. What is your top 3 AC games?
Top three, huh?
Yes, sir. Have you already chose it out or no?
Um, no, do you have yours picked out?
Yes, I do.
Let me hear them.
So I know you're not you won't like this third one, but my third one is AC4, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, the whole pirate era, and I know you don't like it because since you didn't like the boat missions, the cannons and everything, this game pretty much the boat is your baby. You know, like you have to customize it, you have to upgrade it. You know, you gotta do like a lot more stuff with it. You're pretty much on the boat like 70% of the time. So I know you will not like this one because it's fucking like you hate that boat missions, but I did like it a lot. Edward Kenway was a pretty good character. I did like his I guess you could say he's kind of a Ezio, but a little more edgier. You know, he's a stud. He sleeps with women. He's fearless. He wrecks
bro.
dudes.
Ezio sub with women, dude. Don't at me,
That's why I know. I said that's why I said that he's pretty much Ezio, but like a more edgier version, like a pirate. He's more sloppy. So
bro.
just
He's like a Chad. Edward Kenway's a Chad.
so he's a fuck boy.
He's got that strong jawline, dude. Like, yeah, dude.
But yeah, like the story was pretty good. Shit, I forgot about it because it's been a long time since I played AC4. But like I said, AC4 was the last one to have multiplayer, and I played a lot of it. It was fun. I did like how since Blackbeard is one of the most fearless pirates to ever live, like in the trailer of AC4, I remember he was talking about Edward. He was like, "Oh, I seen him take down a Spanish boat with a bullet in of an eye," and he's like, "There's so much secrets to that man," and he goes, "that even I would dare ask." So it's pretty much showing you like even though pirate Blackbeard just a badass dude, like he's even afraid of Edward. Like just shows you how fucking good, like how scary Edward is and how fearless he is too. And I also like the whole Caribbean, area. It was mostly water, but there was different islands with different stories of their own, different cities, different people, all that stuff. So I did like that a lot too. But what's your number three, you bitch?
So my number three, ironically enough, is Assassin's Creed 3. I love this game. I remember when the trailer came out, like you said, it's freaking Connor going through a battlefield, killing
Hold
redcoats.
on, before you
I
talk
thought
about
this,
it, the reason why you love this game is because it's Conor McGregor as the main character.
yeah, exactly, obviously.
Like you do fucking nothing. You do nothing.
you you do nothing.
You do
All right,
fucking nothing.
redcoats, you do nothing.
You do.
This is my island, okay? You do nothing.
You see him throwing fucking you see him throwing fucking water bottles at the
Water
redcoats.
bottles.
The Connor.
Yeah.
You see George Washington. He's like Connor. Don't throw the water bottle.
Yeah. And it's just Dana White as George Washington.
That'd be fucking.
Connor.
Don't throw the water bottle. Connor. All right. So tell me what you love about that game, dude.
So what I liked, first of all, like I said, it's set in America. I thought that was really cool. I like that he was a Native American. I also thought that was cool. But what I liked is the uh, the the prologue, like with his dad. Like you get to see like how his dad was and all this, how he was made, how he was concepted, and why he is, a Native American instead of like because he's Ezio's somewhere along the lines he's Ezio's great grandchild or whatever, just like um, Desmond is Ezio's great grandchild,
Correct.
So, but I just thought that was cool how it made sense. They made it to where it wasn't like how did Ezio's bloodline get all the way to America? It was like, oh, okay, that makes sense, and why he's Native American, that makes sense. I like how he wasn't really on like George Washington's team, the U.S. He just was against the Templars, which made him on the side of the of America. But the one thing I didn't like about the game, and it's the main reason it's number three, is I didn't like that when you fight your dad in that game. Like I'm not a big fan of the boss fights in Assassin's Creed. So when you have to fight your dad in the boss fight, it's just like a parkour chase, and then you catch him and assassinate him, or hidden blade him. And I was like, man, that's kind of a bummer. Like I wish there was more of a fight, and it wasn't really. But I think Connor though is the first assassin to have like a signature weapon that wasn't a hidden blade. With his tomahawk and knife.
Yeah, no, I did like how his tomahawk was like the AC symbol too. That was like a really dope
Yeah.
fucking thing they added to the game. But yeah, and there
What's yours
wasn't.
too?
Yeah, okay. So my number two would be AC1.
Altair, the OG.
Honestly, I've always loved Altair. He's always been my favorite assassin. I've always been like a huge Altair fan. I've been writing Altair since like the beginning, and like since it was the first game, so the story was all right, like it's pretty much I think you almost die, and then your master pretty much sends you to kill 12 Templars, and I guess that in the end, like I forgot why he sent you to do that, but the actual Templar villain is the guy that your master, the one who sends you. So it was like a huge twist, and that's when they first introduced like the Apple of Eden, um, and like it was, I guess, repetitive because like you'll go somewhere, kill someone, come back, go somewhere else, kill someone, come back, go there's so it's like, kind of like all like messy all over the place. But for being the first game, it was still pretty good. I remember like the biggest thing was the parkour. That's when they first introduced it. It was like so crazy. Everyone was in love with it. It was like revolutionary. I think it's pretty much started the parkour of like every other future game that came out. Like if you see a
Oh yeah,
park, if you see like like Sleeping Dogs, I know it's a parkour game kind of thing, right? No,
yeah.
yes,
Sleeping Dogs. Yeah.
yeah. So
I thought you were saying like Watch Dogs because I know that's like a parkour
oh
style
yeah, that
game
too.
too.
But yeah, but I feel like Watch Dogs, Sleeping Dogs, and any other parkour game, like
Uncharted.
I'm sure like they got and they're inspired, by the whole Assassin's Creed, um, parkour version. Because I remember like that trailer dropped for the first Assassin's Creed, like after he kills like the guy, like a guy, he runs from like the knights, and then he's like jumping all over the place, he's like climbing, he's like jumping, and then now like in the end he stops in front of a door, and like when the door opens, it's like a bunch of people with white hoods, and then like that's when Altair kind of just disappears and escapes. So like they implemented a bunch of stealth. So this was probably like the one of the most popular stealth games to ever come out. Like when this game came out, but it's first game, so it's not super good, but it's always left some sort of engraving on my heart. So I'll always love it.
Did you hear that?
Yes, it's a fucking airplane.
Yeah, I was like, why is that thing so loud?
All right, so what is your is it number one?
My number two.
Oh, number two. Go, bitch.
So my number two is a tie, pretty much, between Assassin's Creed 2 and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Just because I thought they were so similar in game. They're like Brotherhood is just pretty much a continuation of 2. You know, it's not really like I wouldn't even consider it a sequel. I just consider it part 2 of Assassin's Creed 2. You know,
Yeah. Um,
like
I did like Revelations a lot more better though, but it's your
okay,
list.
well,
It's your list. It's your
how,
list. I know it's your list. It's your list. Sorry. Don't
how
don't
about
don't
you
scream
wait
at
your
me.
turn? Okay. So I like Assassin's Creed 2
Revelations better.
obviously because it.
Just kidding. Go.
I like Assassin's Creed 2 because Ezio obviously gets introduced. Super cool. He sees his whole family die. Not super cool, but Ezio was just what really launched the series to the next level. You know, like everyone was like, "Altair's cool, but he doesn't really have a personality." And then here comes Ezio, just freaking strutting down the runway, dude. Because he's just a badass character, and I said like Connor was like really the first person to have a signature weapon, but that's besides a hidden blade. Like the hidden blade for Ezio was like his weapon. Everyone wanted a hidden blade after Ezio, especially when they did the thing to where he doesn't have to cut off his finger. So and just everyone just loved Ezio, and charismatic, funny, cool character, but also strong and helpful and courageous. Like he was just an all around great character. He's what really made those stories so good.
Yeah, boring. Whatever.
Okay, what's your number one?
Well, I mean, if I say my number one, you already said it. My number one's Assassin's Creed 3, but you already fucking talked about it. So what's the point of me talking about it? But I guess since you didn't bring up multiplayer, for me, Assassin's Creed 3 was the perfect multiplayer Assassin's Creed that they brought out. It was pretty much they fixed like from Brotherhood to Revelations, and they just made it into this like really perfect, Assassin's game. Like I remember they had a. So before they used to have, I think it was a Revelations Brotherhood where it's called simple deathmatch. You have a target on your picture, you have to go find them, and then you kill them. That's it. The more creative you are with the kill, the more points you get. So like if you're blending into a crowd and you kill them, that's like an extra points. But the thing that I didn't like is that you had gadgets. So like, you could throw smoke bombs, you could throw poison at someone. Like I know if you were like pretty much in order to win the game of a deathmatch in AC multiplayer, equip the poison gadget onto you, blend into a crowd, literally don't be spotted by him, give him poison, watch him die, you won the game automatically because you got so amount of points just doing that kill. And AC3 added I think it's called simple deathmatch where there is no gadgets, just you, your blade, your target, that's it. There's no smoke bombs, there's no throwing fucking knives at someone. There's none of that shit. Just fucking purely just you, your weapon, and the target. And they do have other modes where they have like the gadgets. They have one where it's called Wanted, where you're actually shown a little compass of where your target's at. The more wider the ring is, the more close you are to him. In like simple deathmatch, if you see your target, then your target box glows up. So it's like saying, "Hey, you're in sight of him. Go find him." He's somewhere in your area, and that's what I liked about AC3 multiplayer. It was probably the perfect one that they ever had, and I fucking missed that one.
So, if you would have just waited like 6 more minutes before you started blabbing your mouth, you would have found out that Assassin's Creed Revelations is my number one favorite Assassin's Creed game. But no, you had to keep jabbering and be like, ooh, Revelations is better. Ooh, Revelations is better. Of course it's better, dude. It's the connector. It's the be all end all Assassin's Creed game.
Mostly because
We
it
get
has
to
Altair, and then it has a fucking bearded old Ezio. You know that if you want to make a character so badass, make him a little more older with the beard, and it has some like whitening hairs. Like that makes a character look so badass, dude. That was
and
Ezio at his best, honestly.
so we get not only the story of how, because assassins aren't supposed to have children, we get the story of how Ezio's bloodline was created with Altair sneaking off with that other assassin, creating the next generation. We get to we get to hear about how Ezio continued the generation and also ending the story that Altair started. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and then we get that amazing trailer where Ezio is just wrecking all of the Templars, and he sees Altair throughout the battlefield, and he starts tripping out. And we get an actual like interaction with Desmond and Ezio when he goes and finds the apple inside Ezio's tomb.
I did like that touch of the story mode when in the end where um it's showing like Altair's last moments, and he's sitting down, and like as soon as it goes by the chair and it goes back, it's Ezio like seeing his skeleton, and he's like reading I think his diary. And the reason why it's Altair is such an OG assassin is he fucking died with his hood on, dude. That's you're an OG assassin.
Oh yeah,
You see his corpses with a skeleton with the hood on. I'm like, dude, what a badass.
dude, and we get that really cool fight scene between Altair and one of his friends when Altair comes back like to the after defeating his master at the end of Assassin's Creed 1.
Yeah.
And everyone knew that Altair was the man. Like he like walks in and that guy's like fire on him, and he's just like using the apple to
Yeah. Oh
defend
yeah, and
himself.
he's
Like
just
he was
wrecking people with it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was just so cold. And it's like what makes that game so good is the clashing of the two stories that we have been told up until that point. That's like I really thought they were gonna end the series right there. I was like, oh, this is it. Like when I saw the trailer, I was like, this is the last Assassin's Creed game. But I was wrong.
Yeah, they ended up fuck ton more, dude.
Dude, and and in my opinion, they all got a little worse as time went on. Like after this game, like I just loved this entire game so much that as time went on, I just don't think that they compared to story wise, character wise. Even and the gameplay was kind of the same as the previous games, but still, it was just it worked. It was fun for the time, you know.
Yeah.
It was Assassin's Creed at its peak. Like it didn't need to evolve anything. It didn't need ships. It didn't need a new gameplay style. The parkour was still fun because there was still big buildings. It was still a hard game, and they kept adding enough gadgets to make the game feel a little bit different every time.
Yeah, I do believe in that. And but if you're gonna talk about like like Altair being a fucking stud and killing people, what about that Revelations trailer, dude, with Ezio when he wrecks all the Templars and the whole
That's what I
army?
said.
Oh, I was paying
That's part of
attention.
the
My
reason
bad.
I love the game. Like, is because I love that trailer so much. Like when I saw the trailer,
The
that was
music, dude.
Ezio. Like, dude, the whole trailer itself, dude, so
It was a
epic.
good, yeah, it was a really good trailer, and I like how the game takes place pretty much right after that trailer. That's where the game takes place. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, Yeah, at least they made a reference to the trailer, you know?
Yeah. Like one that actually worked, you know. Well, that's what we love about AC. What's your top three assassins?
Top three assassins. So
So
I would say
just say for your number one because we all know who your number one is.
it's Ezio.
Of course.
Ezio's number one. Altair's number two, and then I'm gonna say as far as like, I have to go Connor. No, Desmond. I'll go Desmond.
Yeah, I guess he does count. He's a modern assassin.
He
Yeah,
fucking
he's the modern
counts.
one. Yeah, he is the modern one. Um, for me, it's Altair, or whatever you want to say it. Second will probably be shit. Second will probably be, I forget that guy's fucking name though. He's the British dude from Syndicate. He was a really dope character. I forgot what his name was, but he's my second, and then my third would be. Yeah, it'd be Ezio. Yeah, Ezio.
Ezio has to make a top three assassin list every time.
Yeah, I was like Connor, but I was like, I didn't like how he's like always just fucking going in reckless, not listening. It's like Altair knows,
Yeah,
like, I mean Altair, like Ezio knows how to calm down and just chill out, you know, like.
that's the one thing that the game does really well is that each assassin is different. Like Altair is this, like if you want to compare like people to assassins, like Altair is like
The wise
the
one,
Obi-Wan,
the wisdom
yeah,
one.
the Obi-Wan
He's the
Kenobi
wisdom.
of assassins. He's the by the books, does everything right assassin, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas Ezio is this gets things done, but in his way. You know, everything is Ezio's way. It's never like it's never one way. He never does it by the assassin code. He never does it by his code. He gets the job done. Whereas Connor, you really get to see his age. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
it really shows you that he's a young assassin, like because he's always running in head first and like not really thinking about his actions before, and he always tries to brute strength everything instead of really finesse it.
Yeah, I did see a picture of back when AC3 was brand new, and they were saying like, Altair is the wisdom, uh, Ezio is the assassin, and Connor's a patriot. And it fit really perfect with their personalities for each one. I was like, yeah, that makes very sense about what like their personalities.
Then what would Edward Kenway be? The criminal, the pirate,
A slut. I don't know, a manho.
the manho.
Yeah, he's more of a criminal, like because like he is, you know, does bad shit, you know. So he's just a fucking straight up criminal. So, and then we'll see how this new character is for Valhalla. Let's see how he is.
Yeah.
Because the way they made it seem like is he's a very very asshole, but he's a nice guy. But like if you fuck with him, he'll fuck with you back and he'll destroy your ass. So I feel like that's what their character they're trying to get at this game. Because like if you see the trailer, how like he's very brutal, very angry, but he's a very nice person. Because he's about to swing his sword at a random lady, and he's like, he stops. He goes, all right, move on. So like I think he's a nice guy, but if he really needs to take out his anger, he'll take it out.
Oh yeah.
All right, so just end this shit already, dude. I'm tired.
All right, guys. This has been the Gamer and the Weeb podcast, the only podcast that has its hidden blade strapped with us at all times. Signing off.